Silksong and Gamescom. What a wild way to start our Nintendo week. Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. Happy Monday. I hope y'all had a good weekend. We are back in the saddle, and Nintendo is not. They're already sending waves through the industry of what worrisome future they have for the rest of 2024, but that's also buoyed by Silksong news, which is always a good thing for all of us who've been waiting an eternity for that game. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Let me know in the comments down below if you are buying Silksong Day Uno, because now we have a rating in Australia for Hollow Knight Silksong that just popped up this morning, and it indicates that this game is very, very close. One of two things are going to happen with Hollow Knight Silksong. Either A, we're about to get a blowout with a release date and with more information from Team Cherry, which basically has been so under wraps. Like, this has been absolutely top secret information. We've got nothing new on Silksong for years now. We had that trailer back at the Xbox showcase where they said it would come out within 12 months. It didn't. That trailer was cool, but it wasn't even a ton of new info, and so we wait. But with recent ratings popping up in multiple places, we got an ESRB rating, we got an Australia rating, this thing is either getting a major set of new info or it's just going to be shadow drop. But I think the release date is absolutely soon. The release date, like, can we guarantee that it's 2024 at this point? Nothing in life is a guarantee, but with ratings popping up for both the United States and Australia, these things are only a precursor to a very soon launch. You don't get the rating going if the game is coming out in a year. So I think it's safe to say you're going to be playing Hollow Knight Silksong this year. How soon? I mean, I still go back to that rumor that I brought to you last week, which is that multiple games are saying, hey, we're an indie title, we're going to be releasing soon. The release date is sooner than you think. I'll point to Little Kitty Big City, which said their title about cats and felines went meow, aka gold, and that the release date is sooner than you think. So an indie world could be around the corner to introduce these stealth drops of titles that are teasing their date, but without a date, could Hollow Knight Silksong show up in an indie world? Everyone thinks no, so maybe yes. Like, I feel like it's topsy-turvy world lately in video games, where if we think a title could be there, it's not there, and if we think a title could not be there, then it is there. So even though it would make little sense for Hollow Knight Silksong to be at an indie world, maybe that's the way Nintendo justifies like not having a direct this month. They've got a big indie world that has Hollow Knight Silksong, something of the sort. Either way, I think this game is soon. I think this game is in the next quarter, and I think that's freaking sweet, especially as we wait for Nintendo to talk about whatever else the heck they are doing. And they won't be talking about it at Gamescom, which is the new breaking news for this morning. Nintendo has confirmed they will not be attending Gamescom, and with no E3 in the summer, that means Nintendo is sitting out the major summer showcases across the board. So what does this mean for Nintendo? Because I already see people jumping to the conclusion that this means no major games, this means no details on Switch 2, this means Nintendo is going to be as silent as a rock. But let's kind of look to last year as maybe an indicator of what we can expect, because last year Nintendo did have Tears of the Kingdom in May. We thought they'd have no games, or some people thought they'd have no games. I thought they'd have games, and they came through with Mario Wonder, Mario RPG, and more. Now, last year, before E3 was sadly canceled, Nintendo did say they would be skipping the show, and then they did attend Gamescom. So it's a bit weird that this year, there's no E3, but they are not going to Gamescom. Alas, last year, most of Nintendo's presence at Gamescom was centered around Tears of the Kingdom. It wasn't like they brought new demos for Mario Wonder or Mario RPG to Gamescom. They just had Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and that won a bunch of awards. And if you believe some of the sources, they say that Nintendo is doing Switch 2 demos at Gamescom, and that's where we got some good leaks about the system. I believe Gamescom is where we got the leaks about, like, oh, it was able to run Breath of the Wild in 4K. Oh, it was doing like the Matrix demo on Nintendo Switch. I think that's where a lot of that information first surfaced, was behind closed doors at Gamescom. So it could be that Nintendo just doesn't want more leaks. And just because they're not showing off Switch 2 behind closed doors at Gamescom, that don't mean that the Switch 2 isn't any farther or any closer. It just means they don't want to do it at a potentially leaky location. Nintendo can absolutely have European press out to a European office. They can fly people out to Kyoto in Japan. They can fly people to North America. Like, they can have Switch 2 events as often as they want. They can bring them to the developers and publishers directly. This is no indicator to me about Switch 2. It may be more of an indicator about a big holiday title, but even that, I say be a little careful. Nintendo did not bring Mario Wonder to Gamescom, and that was their big holiday title. And in my opinion, Metroid Prime 4 is a huge holiday title for fans, but it's no larger or like even the same size as Mario Wonder. So if they didn't bring Mario Wonder last year to Gamescom, well, them not bringing Metroid Prime 4 to Gamescom doesn't rule that out for the rest of the year. Do I think that Nintendo has a smaller lineup and skipping out on the summer events means that, yeah, they don't have some like humongous lineup that they want to show 6 demos? Yeah, they probably don't have 6 demos to show. But does that mean that there's no games coming? Absolutely not. Does that rule out Metroid Prime 4 or Donkey Kong? Absolutely not. Look, if they weren't willing to bring a brand new 2D Mario to Gamescom, then why would they bring Metroid Prime or Donkey Kong? I will say the caveat here is that Mario Wonder was announced in the June Direct. So we did have that announcement before Gamescom, so there was at least some like, okay, they have games coming out. But we're not to June yet. We haven't seen any new Direct from Nintendo since last freaking September, so it's TBD on what they announce. Them announcing and them bringing games to events are totally separate, not mutually exclusive, and don't mean too much about the other. When it was announced that Nintendo was skipping E3 last year, that's when we started to see articles creep up that Tears of the Kingdom was the last game of 2023 for Nintendo, and that absolutely wasn't the case. So be prepared for articles to start popping up that Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door is the last title for Nintendo, and Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is the last title for Nintendo in 2024. Those 2 games in May and June, that's it. Kaputs, we're done. Shut the book on 2024. And it's just not the case. It's not the case. They really could have spaced those out, and I'll say this 100 times, Nintendo will not go July through December with no first-party releases. That is not good business sense, that is not a good business move, and that is not a strategy that Nintendo will employ right now when they're making money hand over fist. They are a very profitable company, and they will keep that rolling. So to me, them skipping Gamescom, like, the only thing it says is A, they want to be super stealthy about whatever they show off with Switch 2. Understandable. Boo that we probably won't get leaks. And the other thing it says is that they don't have a mega lineup, right? They don't have like, oh my gosh, we're getting 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 new first-party games after the summer, which we've all assumed and expected throughout the year. Nobody is putting Nintendo down for 10 first-party titles. Nobody's putting them down for a new Animal Crossing, a new Smash Brothers, a new Donkey Kong, a new Fire Emblem, a new Metroid. Like, we know it's going to be a smaller lineup, but I still think it could be a juicy one. And I still can all but guarantee that Hollow Knight Silksong is coming out this year and that Nintendo first-party titles will release beyond June and beyond Luigi's Mansion 2. So this is, I guess, another bit of a confirmation that things are winding down, yes, but it doesn't mean they're done, and it doesn't mean that the Switch 2 can't be announced. Nintendo has proven that they don't need these big shows. In fact, that's where Nintendo Direct sort of birthed from, was they used to do big in-person presentations at E3 in Los Angeles, and then they were like, you know what, let's just do a Nintendo Direct. They were one of the first to basically say, we don't need your big event to have a big event. So them skipping another big event, even though they've done it a lot lately, I think it's just part of the evolving, shifting strategy for Nintendo and plenty of other companies where they'd rather connect directly with their fans than be at some big event that honestly isn't going to reach as many people. And given that there were significant leaks, I could see Nintendo wanting to be on supreme lockdown as they work to plan a launch date for their new system, plan a launch lineup for their new system, plan a reveal for their new system, and controlling the messaging around that is incredibly important. They go to extreme lengths, I'm sure, to keep this stuff locked down. And so after last year's Gamescom leaks, they're probably like, you know what? There really isn't much benefit. We don't have a Tears of the Kingdom type title to go win a bunch of awards. We'll put out Paper Mario, we'll put out Luigi's Mansion, we'll announce some new games, and we don't have to take them to Gamescom because it's not like we were going to show off the new demos anyway. So rest assured, it's not calamity in the castle of Miyamoto and Furukawa. It's just skipping an event that seems like it was inevitable after a while anyways. They still could pop up at Tokyo Game Show, which usually is in September. That could be a place where they do show up and they do show off new games. So there's still like another chance for them to demo things to the public and to the press if they want to in a bigger event type capacity, but for the most part, it's going to be smaller events, it's going to be directs, and it's going to be a lighter second half of the year, but still good stuff. And by golly, let's focus on Hollow Knight Silksong getting another rating, which means it's coming soon. Cannot wait to play that one. It's going to be awesome. Also, Grounded is out tomorrow, so we'll definitely be checking that out. More Microsoft on Nintendo. Things are happening, all right? Things are happening. Maybe not at the pace we want, but an indie world could be right around the corner. I think it's very weird that companies are saying the release date is sooner than you think, and we don't have a release date. Like, why? Indie world. All right, let me know what you think in the comments down below, everybody. Are you pressing the doom and gloom button about the Gamescom skip, or are you thinking it's not a big deal like me? Let me know in the comments down below. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. And until next time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. SwitchForce out.